Tonight's episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. If you're like me and you want to play fantasy sports, but you don't want to compete against bots and people who do this professionally, you just want to have fun and not have to deal with rosters and injuries all season, get the Prize Picks app. Do yourself a favor. You simply pick 2 to 5 players, regardless of their sport. Pick whether they're going to have a good day or an off day. And obviously, the more you pick correctly, the better you do. It's that simple. And their withdrawals are super fast. It is a must-have app for the NYY Recaps audience. Download the Prize Picks app or visit prizepicks.com or use the link in the description of this video and use the code NYY Recaps and they will match your initial deposit up to $100. It will help the channel immensely. Do me a favor, go to Prize Picks, use the code, and win some money. All right, another series win. Let's go. Well, before we get started tonight, we just lost a couple of more players to the injured list that it's worth talking about. In case you missed the game, I know a lot of people watch this recap the day after because they can't catch the game or can't catch the pregame. Jonathan Loizaga and Giancarlo Stanton were both placed on the IL before the game. Honestly, I'm more concerned with Loizaga because it's shoulder trouble, and shoulders can be tricky for a pitcher. You never quite know how long that can take to heal, and Stanton has a strained calf. Now, calves can also take a long time to heal. Last year, he had a strained calf, missed about a week and a half or so, about 10 days. This year, you have to be on the IL for 15 days, so the earliest we're going to see him is like June 10th or so, but I would bet it'd be a little bit longer. Also, Jason Dominguez was removed from the lineup in his low A game, and within 30 minutes, he had deleted almost all of the pictures from his Instagram, save for one picture. Now, this has been going around as, quote, he deleted all his Yankees pictures. He deleted pretty much everything. He cleaned up his Instagram. So naturally, social media went wild. No official word from the Yankees, but I've seen multiple reports that he was removed for precautionary reasons because he fouled the ball off of his foot. So no trade happening that we know of right now. The Instagram thing just looks like he was tidying up. So everybody take a step back, take a deep breath, and let's get to the recap. Great night for J.P. Sears tonight. He was making his first career start. He appeared a couple of times in relief. He's had some nasty numbers in the minor leagues over the last couple of years. He was 7-0 down the stretch at AAA last year. He showed me some stick-to-itiveness in the first inning. Orioles had 2 men on base and nobody out after a botched double play, but Sears pitched out of it. Bottom 1, Judge just missed his 18th home run of the year, took it to the warning track, but came up just short.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Top 2, the Orioles made J.P. Sears throw a lot of pitches. Adley Rutschman, who impressed me in this game, despite one bad throw, he had a couple of hard-hit balls, had a couple of really good at-bats. This one against J.P. Sears, it got the pitch count up, but he settled down. He didn't get scored on, finished with just 84 pitches. Bottom 4, Aaron Judge doinked a ground rule double into the left field corner to lead off the inning. Gleyber Torres singled with 1 out to put runners on first and third. And then Miguel Andujar roped one into left field to give the Yankees their first run of the game. Let's take a look at this because this one is on the screen in just a second. Nice rope by Gleyber Torres. And then this is a P-Rod. This is a laser beam to left field. I miss seeing that from Andujar. J.P. Sears was done after 5 innings. Final line, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Really nice job for the kid. My impressions on J.P. Sears, and this is the first extended look I've had on him, the fastball was 94-95, but you can tell a lot from the hitter's swings. And you could see that they were a little bit later than they expected to be. So you were seeing foul ball or pop-ups. You were seeing a lot of foul balls. He wasn't putting guys away, quite as well as I think he will once he becomes a more polished pitcher. But you saw a lot of pop-ups, which tells you that the fastball is kind of sneaking up on the hitters. 2 scoreless innings for Ron Marinaccio tonight. Really nice job by Ron Marinaccio. He's not going to get the belt, but I want to give him a round of applause. Maybe he can get like the, the socks or some shit.
More of that, please.
Top 9. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa made a really nice play at shortstop, and things got a little bit dicey for Clay Holmes, but he pitched out of it to pick up the save. Mr. John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. Order that, please.
Marcus Killigrew, I stand corrected. He's right. It's a 15-day IL for pitchers and 10-day IL for position players. So we might see Giancarlo back a little bit sooner than a couple of weeks from now. We got to give out the belt. You already see it on your screen. There was no real vote necessary. I put a vote up, but this was a landslide. JP Sears. Belt winner. All right, so we are going to pull up the box score real quick. But overall, a lot of things to be happy about right now. The Yankees pitching seems to have turned it around. Obviously, any games you can win when you've got this amount of injuries on your team is, a good thing. But Yankees head to Tampa, and Tampa's not going to take it easy on us. They're going to be a tough matchup. Let's pull up the box score from tonight's game. You can see the Yankees are now 31-13 on the season. First place in the AL East. Just 6 hits tonight. 2 hits for Andujar. Marwin Gonzalez 1 for 3. Higashioka 1 for 3. Judge picked up the double, and then Torres with the line drive. His average continues to creep up. JP Sears 2-0 on the season. I thought that, that must have been his first big league win as a starter, because on the broadcast I could have swore they said first big league win. Marinaccio with the hold. Litke pitched pretty well tonight, and Miguel Castro had pretty good stuff tonight. And, of course, Clay Holmes shuts it down. His 5th save of the year. He's got a 0.38 ERA. Nice job by Wells from the Orioles as well. 5 innings and 2 runs. All right, let's take a look at your comments here. Lori C. says Hicks needs a change of scenery. Yeah, he doesn't look comfortable out there in center field. There was a play in the 9th inning that probably could have been caught. It was just kind of a lazy bloop to center, and it dropped in. A couple of years ago, he's standing under that. Let's see here. Dion, 3318, says lots of weak contact from Sears. Yeah, he was definitely fooling the Orioles hitters. It looked like he was getting in on their hands a little bit. He was, making them conscious of the inside pitch, and then he would go away. His breaking ball looked really good. And you see him coming up and in right there to Mullins. I saw a couple of really good sliders from him, just a really tight break. It seemed like occasionally he would miss, but his misses were high in the zone. They were like the very top of the zone, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because hitters don't usually swing at those unless they're, 100 miles an hour and miss. They're pretty good at laying off of the mid-level fastballs that are kind of high. Let's see here. Mendel Libero says, if Soto were traded, what position do you think he'd play, and what would the top of the lineup look like? That's an interesting question. I mean, obviously it depends on, who you trade for him. I don't think any of the top 4 would, go in return to the Nationals. So what I would do is probably DJ LeMahieu leading off. I like him out of the leadoff spot. And then I would go Judge, number 2. I would go Soto, number 3. And then I would go with Giancarlo Stanton, number 4. Rizzo, number 5. That's kind of my top 5. And that's pretty good top 5 with a couple of lefty bats. You got guys who hit for contact in Judge, LeMahieu, Soto. Obviously, everybody in those 5 can take you deep on any given night. I mean, that's a deadly way to start off the game. Those 5 guys in a row. And as far as where he would play, Judge is really the best right fielder on the team, but he's also probably the best center fielder on the team. I would think if the Yankees got Soto, they wouldn't have any need for Aaron Hicks. And I would think that he would either get released or DFA'd, maybe traded for, a player to be named later. I think that we could put Judge in center field for the remainder of the season if we were to get Soto. I would feel perfectly comfortable with that. And then you just kind of rotate him. If you want to give him a night off, you play him at DH or whatever if you want to give his legs a night off. So, and you got LeCastro coming back hopefully pretty soon. He could fill in. So I think the Yankees would be fine with Aaron Judge in center field and Soto in right. Soto's a better right fielder than he is a left fielder, but I'd also feel comfortable putting Soto in left. However, I don't think the Yankees are going to get rid of Joey Gallo, even with another tough night tonight, 0 for 3, coming back off the IL. Will R says, thoughts on IKF so far? So I like IKF. I think he's very pesky. He had the big hit to tie the game last night. You see him make a lot of tough plays. I think he charges the ball really well. I think he gets rid of the ball really fast. I think his struggles mostly come around the bag at second base. We saw a play tonight where he probably should have taken it himself. He tried to flip and it got dropped. And that's going to come with more reps at shortstop. I think he's pretty good at going to the hole. I don't know how his arm ranks among major league shortstops, but I feel like it's pretty good. I feel like, his time as a catcher proves that he has a strong arm. He's played third base. So I like IKF. I don't think he's going to hit for much power. Last year he had, I think, 8 home runs, so I'm surprised he hasn't hit any this year, but the ball was kind of dead. Tonight on the Orioles broadcast, they were calling it the mush ball. The mush ball. Dion says, I thought Soto was a right fielder. Soto is a right fielder, and I would put him in right probably. Let's see here. Bronx Bomber says, we're all waiting for the injuries to come, and they came in groups. It was tough. Frankie Baseball says, is Aaron Hicks the worst player in Yankees history? I would like to direct you to the Baseball Almanac. Drew, Steven. Check that one out. He was pretty bad. Donaldson, 6 in the lineup. Yeah, I would go with Donaldson, 6. He's been having good at-bats. He's obviously out of the lineup right now with the COVID IL, but when he comes back, he'll slot back in. Frankie Baseball says, the Sears catalog. I didn't know people remembered the Sears catalog. It's been a long time since I've heard those words put together. Do they still do that? I haven't been to... Do they still even have a Sears? I mean, Sears and Roebuck was like a big part of this country for a long time, but I don't think I've seen a Sears in 20 years. I didn't even mean to rhyme those words. Ryan Tuhey says, Yankees 9-4 against Baltimore this year. Very respectable. If they can go at least 14-5, that would be a good amount of damage, and I agree. Last year, though, the Rays went 18-1, so I still think the Yankees should have played a little bit better against the Orioles. That first series, I think, maybe against the Orioles in Baltimore. Maybe it was the second series that they played against the Orioles, but it was the one they played in Baltimore where they gave away a couple of games. There was a Sunday game where Nestor Cortez pitched great, and then the bullpen just kind of gave it up. Mike D says, why is Hicks still in the lineup? I mean, right now the Yankees don't have a lot of other options. At least, he's a professional who can have good at bats, take pitches. If he gets on base, he can steal a bag. But right now, you've kind of lost all hope in Hicks being, doing any kind of damage. His numbers on the season after tonight's game, hitting .209 with a .581 OPS. His OPS is so low that every night I'm surprised that it doesn't accidentally go up. Been tough. And then Joey Gallo, who career-wise pretty much always over 800 with his OPS, 611 OPS. I think Joey Gallo, I think he would really benefit from a change of scenery. Can't you see Joey Gallo going to someplace like Seattle or San Diego and just putting up dynamite night numbers just with no pressure, nobody asking him to make contact? I don't think the Yankees are going to get rid of him. But if I were Brian Cashman and I had the keys, he'd be somebody that would be looking to flip just because I think he would benefit from a change of scenery and the Yankees would benefit from something else out there entirely. Frankie says, how's the Orioles broadcast? I miss Gary Thorne. Yeah, Gary Thorne is gone. Apparently, Gleyber Torres drove him into hiding. The Orioles broadcast sucks. I mean, what do you want me to say? It sucks. Let's see here. Will R says, was stoked on the IKF trade, not going to lie. THG is here. Welcome.
Greetings.
Bruce says Soto's playing left field for Washington. Is that right? I thought he was playing right field. I'm going to pull up his numbers from. He played right field today. I'm looking at the box score today. He's only hitting .236, but he's got an .814 OPS. He's one of those guys that's going to heat up. I feel like he got off to a slow start last year, too, and then heated up around the All-Star break. Maybe we can get him for that hot stretch in the second half. Faye says Jacoby Ellsbury. I think we're still talking about Yankees who were terrible. Dion bringing up Carl Pavano. That's a name that Yankees fans will remember as being kind of awful. I mean, he got a 4-year, $40 million contract, and he might have pitched, 10 or 15 times in 4 years? I remember he got off to an okay start. He pitched pretty well against the Red Sox in his first outing. That was a game that Derek Jeter hit his first ever walk-off home run, and it was Captain Clutch. He had one in the World Series, but I think it was his first regular season walk-off home run. And Captain Clutch was the newspaper headline the next day. Ziana Stunna says, Soto has no one around him to protect him. He's got Nelson Cruz hitting behind him. Nelson Cruz is pretty good, but you're right. I mean, there's the guy in front of him hitting 205. The guy behind him hitting 227. He's the only OPS on the team over 800. And again, he's 23 years old. Imagine someone Estevan Florial's age who walked 145 times last year and hit damn near 30 home runs and hit 351 the year before that. This guy, the only comparable this early in his career is Ted Williams. And there's not a whole lot of people you can compare to Ted Williams. This is a guy who literally could be a Hall of Fame player. So I don't blame fans for getting excited. I'm excited at the prospect that he could be traded, even if he's not traded to the Yankees. Just the excitement that it's going to bring that he's in discussions this year. Oh, I just realized the lineup is screwed up from tonight. All right, let's pull down these highlights. All right, guys, we're going to finish up real quick. AB says, when do we start trusting Marinaccio? Hey, after tonight, it looked pretty good. One more time from John Sterling. I'm going to call it an early night. It's just been a long, long week with all the stuff that's going on in the news. It's just worn me down. The Yankees have had a lot of games in a row. I'm tired. I just want to call it a night. So one more time from John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. All of that, please.
See you guys tomorrow. Coming from Tampa Bay.